The idea is that sniffing dogs try to detect COVID patients and differentiate them from healthy people.
We know for a very long time that dogs have been used in a lot of walks of life, but for medical detection it's a novum at the end of the day. People have not really realized the potential the dog could have to detect disease from non-diseased patients. Dogs, as you might know, have a better smell than us by 1,000 times, so they have a huge potential. Dogs were trained by using saliva from patients which were COVID-19 positive. We worked in a fantastic collaboration with the MRH, the medical school in Hanover, and the UKE in Hamburg, Eppendorf.
I'm doing it because, again, I'm a retired healthcare worker and understand the challenges that COVID-19 has caused our community and state and the whole country.
A little pinch here and a little poke.
If I may, I'd love to talk through why CCP lied, Americans died, is a sign that should be up in the hands of protesters in Seattle and Portland and elsewhere. So let's, if I may, let me walk you through the timeline as I see it. We had in November the first confirmed cases of the China virus, and the people involved in that were very close proximity to the infamous Wuhan lab, the Wuhan market, wet market, but also there were two biological virology labs there that some have, I think, correctly called P4 labs, perhaps P4 weapons labs. And if you take an Occam's razor approach to figuring out, where did this virus come from, and the simplest explanation is usually the correct one, there's a lot of evidence that points to that virus escaping from one of those two labs. But even if that's not true, what transpired after that is a history of shame by the Chinese Communist Party, because in December and January, what the party did was hide the virus from the world. They used the World Health Organization as a shield to disguise human-to-human transmission and the almost certainty of a pandemic. And during that time, they did several things. First, China's usually a net exporter of personal protective equipment, the masks, the gloves, the goggles, all the things that our healthcare workers need at the front lines to fight the virus. What China did during that time was vacuum up all of the PPE all around the world. They effectively hoarded that. So when shortages popped up everywhere from Milan to New York and people got infected or died because of that, that tracks right back. Several weeks earlier, before that January 15th signing, Xi Jinping actually had a high-level meeting with the Chinese Communist Party officials and basically warned them about the demon virus. So we knew that those top officials knew this. The historical parallel, the historical parallel, Cordell Hull, December 5th. Two Japanese diplomats come to the State Department and basically talk to Secretary of State Hull, basically ask for some more time so that they can negotiate a peaceful end. And meanwhile, Admiral Yamamoto was putting in place that carrier strike group for that day of infamy.
What Dr. Navarro is talking about, his title is actual General Secretary Xi. We don't refer to him as President Xi. He's General Secretary of the Communist Party. Just like Gorbachev was the General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. Xi is the General Secretary of the Communist Party. I'm not so sure he's really the president, because I don't believe that that's a legitimate regime. I think it's totally illegitimate. But we know for a fact, because under pressure of how out of control was getting in Wuhan and Hubei, that he had to have this. He had a conversation in the first week of January that talked to senior level cadre that said that we're going to get our hand. We're going to get on top of this.
Let me tell you something else that really should disturb the American people about this. The January 15th Phase 1 deal was about a lot of things, but most of all, what it was about was China promising, as it had back in 2015, to stop stealing America's intellectual property. But you know what? After they spawned the virus, hid the virus, sent it around the world, what did they try to do next, Steve? Steal the virus. They are actively hacking the computer systems of the people who are trying to develop a vaccine to protect the American people from the CCP virus. You can't make this stuff.
I hope America also can face the truth. Now, it's everybody talking coronavirus, but nobody asking coronavirus where from. Everybody talk is how many people get infected, how many people die, but nobody like to ask where from the coronavirus. Who make the coronavirus? Why, as America media, all the world media, all the governments don't like to face the truth? Why? That's important. You look at Canada, you look at the UK, you look at the French, you look at South Korea, you look at Japan. All the government, the police try to stop. We are federal states, people go to protests, gave the world a try, burn the truth. But it's the CCP is a huge power in any country. Try, is it the police, stop, we are protests. That's a democracy west the world. But now, we can show the world what has happened. CCP lie, the world people die. You how can stop the die? Find out the truth. How can find out the truth? Government need action. Cannot only talk and work, paper and speech and just give say, oh, it's the bureaucracy talk. Please, sir, war room, and you are do good job. You risk a lot of people, wake up a lot of people. How can solve the problem? Only one, find out the truth. Dr. Yan come to America is give American spread all the truth about the coronavirus in Hong Kong, P3. What has happened? Also, WHO is the cheater all the people, gave the fake information, cooperate with the PLA, biological weapon army, and is the Wuhan P4, the lamp, all the truth. They see because the whistleblower gave you American the truth, they lose everything. Even now, American government don't do anything. No more people talk about Dr. Yang. What does it have? What is happening in the P3 lamp and the P4 lamp? That's too ridiculous. After this, I think a lot of people get into the trial. It's a criminal. You don't work officially, find out the truth. You don't face the truth. You bureaucracy. You don't like the face the true information that can kill more American people. That's I like it. 72 hours must be warning. Give the CCP. You must be give America what has happened in the P3 Hong Kong the lamp, and what has happened in the Wuhan P4 the lamp. What has happened? Xi Jinping make the decision, any document. And I think America need a red note. Two is every work in P4, P3, the iceberg must be give all the America all the information. You know, sir, somebody now in the UK, in the Europe, is from the army side. They try to give Americans some of the true information from the government. They make the decision. They made the biological weapon because they look American government not seriously think solve the problem. They look at Dr. Yang in America. Nobody respect. Only Fox talks 001 part the truth, but they don't trust America because America not seriously action. That's the problem.
Secretary, as Captain Commander, on behalf of the Marine Security Guard and Captain Command China, hereby officially retire our national colors and receive recognition of the official closure of the United States Consulate in China, effective 1000 hours, 27th day of July, year of our Lord, 2020.
师傅，这是我们的新生。中国人民万岁！
昨天晚上6点，整个这一个楼不中隔离14天呢。
那都不让出来，那门都像拉一个群里头，天天要报个温的。
资金不出，进去不要出。
这个就是通往大连湾的太师路的大道口，现在也封闭了。
7月26号，辽宁省大连市中共病毒疫情已扩散至4省7市，包括辽宁省鞍山市、铁岭市、黑龙江省鹤岗市、海伦市、吉林省长春市、四平市、福建省福州市。大连市26号决定，即日起以街道为单位，全面开展核酸检测工作。现场视频显示，大连市核酸检测现场大排长龙，还因为排队发生争吵和冲突，有人被压倒在地上。网上还传出大连封城，但被当地市民否认。大连市民表示，大连湾已经封闭，大连市部分小区实施封闭式管理。
大连湾那边有，从大连湾来的都检测了，这个有时限制，有时不限制，现在都防控了。
有推友25号发视频显示，支援大连的医疗队到大连了，并质问到底有多少病例，搞得人心惶惶的。
我们现在疫情大连海鲜好像有辽宁也出现1例了嘛，吉林出现1例，大连在检测呢嘛，没有。
近日，网上还传出旅顺封城，一栋楼的居民都被拉去检测，广播叫全体居民不得外出，做到里不出外不进，封闭区内所有居民必须进行核酸检测。但旅顺酒店一名匿名员工否认旅顺封城，并且说现在各地都不欢迎大连人。
旅顺口区1例都没有，大连有，只要不是大连人，不是大连的就随时可以住店，没有限制。
7月22号，大连湾确诊1名病例后，整个大连湾封闭式管理。24号起，大连全市幼儿园关闭，乘坐地铁3号线的乘客必须先通过核酸检测。
看一下，这下面都是嘉陵江，这些个已经遭淹了。这是今年洪水最大的一次，也涨得最凶的一次。连下面的商铺都已经占了，太阳晒得很，好热呀！看一下，涨到那个位置来了，这些树子都遭淹了，那边那些树子。全部都淹了。
用心的房子啊，现在就淹成这样子啊！
永新这个里面这些房子啊，哎呦我去，这他妈淹的什么样啊！基本上拼了2楼的房顶，2楼的窗户啊。 有面吗？要面白哟。面是一个人口中的涮好的了。说各种涮哈。跟面还不各种涮，面还给这咋涮
？2020年7月26号，北京下雪了，太冷了，冻死我了。
We found out, even we live in Australia, we're still scared from the bottom half. Why? Because CCP virus, CCP is everywhere. For example, the media, the newspaper, when you say simply Mandarin, it's already been ruling by CCP.
来，你拍我们战友们，没事儿，我给你直播呢，全世界都能看见你。来，战友们看看他啊！干什么的呀？记住，你是干啥的？你是干啥的？你说，哎，我们警察在那儿了啊！你警察在那儿，你别碰我们啊！
这位就是一直在拍我们的，拍了很久了。啊，这就是共产党的特务啊！拍我们干嘛？
激进法治社会没有你们战友们的支持，怎么可能有昨天727这样大游行呢？今天727大游行里边，战友们你们捐过钱的名字我并没有说出来的，记住，这是游行所有的钱都是你们的，没有你们这个捐款啊，是每个地方的拨款都是你们捐款。这回真的是全民参与的民主运动。民主运动的几大特征，首先，钱是来自于全民自动的支持，经济支持来自于民，而不是来自于什么军阀财阀啊，不是的，那就不叫那就叫真的是啊黑社会组织或非法组织，成功了叫政权了，这是真正的这是平民运动。第二条，所有的发起者啊都是平民啊，这大家看看都是平民，这是第二个区别。第三是自愿自发追求的一个绝大的追求的目标，这个大家都实现了。还有一个，这些人是不是以盈利为目的的，不是以获得权力荣誉为目的的啊，是绝大多数人失去公正后追求统一的目标，这叫真理啊。 这个大家区别了。还有一个，绝大多数人都冒着巨大的风险，自己的付出是造福很多其他人的，这就叫民主领导者和真正的人类发展当中这叫精英，这些条件都具备了。但是法治基金、法治社会所有的捐款者捐20美金的，捐2万美元、捐20万美元、捐200万美元，没有你们今天这不会发生。